Treat yourself every pay period. Whether it's perfume, nails, eyelash, hair, shoes, some good food. You are not working just to pay bills and die.
So about a year ago, I kind of had a nervous breakdown and stopped participating in capitalism. And what I mean by that is like, I stopped paying my bills and stopped giving a shit about my credit score that I had been working years and years and years to fix, because as I paid more and more, they were like, penalty. And so I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I just stopped. And like, now I'm getting all these things in the mail where they're like, you owe us money. And I'm like, prove it. And my credit score is somehow going up. It's like, we see all the hard work you've done at ignoring this. So like, we're going to give you points, because that's, I think, how it really works. So anyway, I guess the point is, none of this is real. We're on a big floating rock in the middle of, you know, the universe. And it's all made up and the points don't matter. You're doing great.
I'm done paying my credit card bills. I didn't pay them off. I just I'm done paying them. I don't want to pay them anymore. So, feels pretty good. I could, pretty freeing. I'm getting a lot of phone calls from 800 numbers, but it's probably not that big of a deal. Dude, these fucking... I didn't think I liked dark chocolate or almonds. But when you mix the two together, something crazy happens. Yeah, so... Alright, guys. Peace out.
I am so far past caring about saving money. I just don't care. Like, the world could blow up tomorrow, hopefully. And you want me to stress about a construct? Like, at some point in human history, some guy just made up money and credit cards, and you want me to stress about that? It's not even real. And then every time I'm like, maybe I should lock in, maybe I should stop spending money, something huge happens. Like, today I took my car in, need new tires, $2,000. Who cares? It's not even real money. I don't care. Put it on a credit card and put the $250 perfume that I want on my credit card too. I don't care. The old me would have been like, oh my God, $2,000, what am I gonna do? Now I really, really, truly don't care. Our generation's kind of fucked anyway from the boomers. I'm not gonna buy a house. What the fuck am I saving for? Why would I forego my current happiness for the fake promise of, if you save your money, you can retire at 65. I'm not retiring. I'll probably die before that.
Does anyone else ever think about, like, what if everyone just quit their job at once on the same day? What would happen? And I already know so many people are going to be like, yeah, but we need money because we got bills to pay. And it's like, do you need money? Or are they keeping us in a state of fear and survival mode?
Yeah, this is how the world works. You borrow money, you pay it back. Shut your stupid ass up. A fucking school loan ain't the same as an auto loan or a home loan or a personal loan, you damn idiot. Black people, minorities especially, had to go to school. We ain't left shit. We had to go to school. I had no choice but to go to damn school. And then when I went to school, it wasn't like I'm working for my damn self now. I'm making money for other people. And the money gets taxed. This shit is all going back into the hand. It's like a big ass circle, and y'all fail to realize that. Your fucking credit score is made the fuck up. That's some made up shit. Money made the fuck up. This is a system. America is a system. I'm confused at how the hell y'all still don't realize this shit. Then on top of that, y'all ain't even willing to try to make reasonable payment plans. Y'all ain't even trying to do like $100 a month. Y'all want the whole shit. Y'all want $2,000 a month on a goddamn degree that people ain't even using. When I got out of school, I couldn't even use my degree right away. They wanted 100 years of experience. Like, what the fuck? Y'all garnish my wages. I'm garnishing my damn job. Period. I get energy siphoned daily. Restraining myself from hopping through the computer and choking people out daily. And I've been doing this shit since I've been 16. I've been working in America since I've been 16 and ain't got too much shit to show for it other than the standard American properties.
I'm so over the money. I can 100% go live in a cardboard box right now as long as I find the love of my life. I am so over the fucking money and the rat race to get to all of this shit. In my eyes, it's inevitable. You need a house, you need a place to live, you need all these things. Like, you have to make money as long as you're breathing. You need to eat every day. That's money. You're never gonna eat for free unless you're eating out of a fucking dumpster. And if that's what you want, that's what you want. You can offer yourself the lowest quality of life or the highest quality. But either way, you need fucking money. And I think that's inevitable. I don't even want to have that conversation anymore. Okay. We can have the conversation about what's your career path, what's this, because if you want to go be a surgeon and travel the world and I want to be a pastry chef in the small town, like, we got to make sure that align. Like, you got to know your careers and stuff align. That's different too. But the money and make sure you got this and make sure a bitch is fully together and make sure a nigga got all this and make sure he can provide for you too. Like, I am so over that. I don't want you to base you loving me off of that. Like, I am so sick of that shit. I don't know if it's only me, but I'm over it. I'm the fuck over it. Love me for me. Love me because I got a wrinkle in my forehead. Love me because my voice crack in the morning. Love me because I'm emotional. Love me because I'm in tune. Love me because I'm grounded. Like, oh no. Like this. Love me because I'm fucking emotional, dog. I'm fucking emotional as shit. Like,
who needs to hear this, but don't pay those credit cards. Default on them credit cards. If you're young and you don't need your credit right now, if you're not trying to buy a car, if you're not trying to buy a house, why are you paying that shit? Most of that shit's going to interest. You done fucked up. You done maxed them out. What you're gonna be paying that for the rest of your life, homie. Don't pay it. Default. Let it go to collections. Let me tell y'all. When I was younger, when I was a young lad, no, but for real though, when I was younger, I said, you know what? I was like I was in the industry. I was a server and I was like paying my credit cards, but I'm like, damn, I could have so much money if I was just not paying this right now, because like it'd be rent, credit cards, broke again. I was like in this vicious cycle. So I said, and I was checking everything and I'm like, damn, this shit's fucking going to interest. Like, I'm never gonna pay this. I remember they did like a calculation for me. It was like 15 years. I was like, 15 years, bitch. Who has 15 years? Not me. So I said, I'm not paying it. So I defaulted it. And then, yeah, I had bad credit and I couldn't get an apartment without a guarantor. Okay, so what? Find someone to be your guarantor. But it's even better if you live at home or like you have someone that'll be your guarantor. Like, make sure you don't need your credit. If you need your credit, do not listen to me. But if you don't, clock in, everybody. Pay attention right now. Okay, so basically, when you default, later on they'll go to collections and then you can settle for much, much lower, which is what I basically did. One of my best deals, most of them, I settled for half. So eventually you should be saving money so that you can settle after it goes to collection. But I settled for half in most cases. And whatever I owed, I paid half and then went away. But the best deal I got was I owed $1,000 balance and they called me and they were like, at first it was like 500. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. This is when I first started getting on game that you could do this. I was like, oh, that's not bad. I was like, okay, I could probably pay that soon. Like, I was like, I'll have to call you back though. I don't have that much right now. And the person on the collections line was like, well, how much do you have to give me today? I said, I could do 200 today. She said, all right, we'll do 200 and we'll close this out.
Here's how to not pay your medical bills or just settle. Hi, we're debt collectors. We're gonna need your phone number and address to verify. No. Well, you have a medical debt of $7,000 that you need to pay, or we're going to ruin your credit score. Okay, I'm requesting an itemized bill with every single charge and a copy of my original invoice or receipt with my signature. Otherwise, you are illegally trying to collect this debt, and legally, I don't have to pay it. If they don't have it, you can hang up. We actually have it right here. Great. I know that I can wait 5 years for my debt to die, or we can settle this because I know the hospital sold you this debt for pennies and you're just trying to make some profit back. So let's settle for $500 for a pay to delete where you agree to remove this off my credit report. Super important, make sure to request a written confirmation before you make a payment.
I have decided that I do not need to use my credit. If I can't buy it cash, I don't need to dip into this realm of basically saying you can't afford it, so use your credit until you're able to pay it off. I don't want to live an aesthetically pleasing lifestyle. If that's you, that's you. Hustle culture has taken up a majority of my life, and I don't want any part of it anymore. Chasing the next dollar, I do not want to do. Trying to pay off my debt, credit utilization tools, FICO score, I don't want any part. And I just decided that, like, even when my kids get old enough to move out, I'm like, I'm just going to fucking downsize. Bitch, I might live out of a fucking car. Like, I don't even care at this point. They have their whole lives ahead of them. Mine is behind me. Mine is pretty much behind me. And I'm just at the point where I'm like, you know what? I don't want to participate anymore. I don't want to participate in whatever this fucking is. I'm only going to put into the economy what I benefit out of it, which are necessities. And if it's not a necessity, I do not want any parts of it. I don't need it. And I'm damn sure not going to use credit to get it, because credit's just another way of saying you can't afford it. You're basically living out of your means right now. And that's why you're using your credit until you're able to pay it off. You're using your credit because you don't have the cash right now. And if you did have it, you wouldn't use credit. I don't want it. Fuck the debt. I'm over.
Man, fuck them bills. Yeah, I want to tell all y'all that's out there stressing over paying a bill, man. Fuck them bills, man. You hear me? That car note, they overcharge you for that anyway, man. Yeah, the car was $23,000. By the time they got through doing the paperwork, it was $34,000. Yeah, fuck them bills, man. You hear me? For real. Like, hey, long as your rent paid, long as your lights and water on, you know what I'm saying? Anything out of that, man, fuck them bills, man. You hear me? Hey, you gonna die owing somebody anyway. You hear me? You gonna pay somebody all the rest of your life, man. Even the richest of the rich of the rich of the rich of the rich. Still paying somebody, man. I promise you, man. You gonna pay somebody. So why stress out? Why stress out? You stress real tough, man. Fuck around, die. Get what? They gonna just go to somebody else about some bills. The bills gonna keep going. Like, what you tripping for? Don't stress out about no bills, man, that you can't help. Hey, man, look, you gonna pay them. You just ain't gonna pay them when you supposed to pay them because of your situation. But, man, fuck them bills, man. You heard me? Like, don't be stressing over that. I'm here to tell y'all right now, man, stop stressing over that, man. I see a lot of y'all out there. Look at my eyes. I see you. A lot of y'all out there stressing on them bills. Man, fuck them bills, man. You hear me? Yeah, pay them folk when you pay them, man. Yeah, forget that. I'm telling you, man. For real.
Credit scores are permission for debt. No, really, there's nothing else you can do with a credit score. And how do you get a decent credit score? You have to go into debt. And what is the reward for paying off that initial debt and getting a higher credit score? Permission for higher debt. And there's a reason I consider this to be the scam of all scams. If everyone were to pay off their credit card debt tomorrow, every single credit card provider would go out of business very soon. We're basically keeping these people rich off of money that we do not have.
If you're being served by a debt collector?
Well, first of all, you don't panic. Because it's not the end of the world and there's no such thing as credit police. So you just sit back, take your time, and methodically go through the system and figure it out. Here's what you start with. First of all, if you're getting sued, they have to serve you by a process server. They can't tape it on the door, they can't throw it at you, and in rare occasions they may be able to mail it to you, but it's doubtful. And even if they mail it to you, who's to say that you received it? That's why it has to be served to you in person. So, what you do is if you do get served with a summons, you have 20 days to respond to that summons in writing to the clerk of the court's office in your jurisdiction. However, before you even do that, you have to look at the face of the document that has been served to you. What has to be on there is the initials of the individual process server that served you, the method of service, whether it was personal, whether it was individual service, if it was handed to a family member or a spouse, whatever the case may be. In a lot of cases, like in the state of Florida, the person that you serve must be at least 16 years old. They have to have the individual's name that they served. They have to have the date and the time and the identification of the process server and whether or not that process server is certified, court appointed, etc. Absent any of those things, you have case to quash service or make a motion to vacate. That's simply done with a form that you submit to the court, and more often than not, you can be successful in doing so. They dismiss the service because it wasn't good service, wasn't handed to you personally, it was improperly served, therefore the case is going to ultimately be dismissed with a motion. But if you ignore it, you have a problem because the credit reporting agency or the credit collection agency or their attorneys can prove that you ignored them, so they go to court and they get a judgment against you anyway. Once they get the judgment, then of course they can enforce that judgment by doing a wage garnishment. When you're at this point, you're in a little bit of trouble, but you can still back out of it, and there's ways to do that. And again, it's always holding their feet to the fire. The burden of proof is on them and them alone.
I used to be a debt collector for 15 years, and there's one question that would stop us in our tracks every single time. Ready? Just ask them. Can you provide written proof that you have the legal right to collect this debt? That's it. We hated that question because most of the time we couldn't. Debts get bought and sold for pennies. Half the time, collector doesn't even have the paperwork. That question is your right under the FDCPA, and it shuts the whole thing down. Pay a debt collector?
No. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't ever pay a debt collector. And I'm going to tell you why. It's very simple. You don't owe that debt collector one dime, not a dime. And especially if it's a third-party debt collector. So you see, people go after debt after the fact. Once they write it off, once they sell that off, it's no longer theirs to collect, but they'll try to collect anyway. And in some cases, it's illegal. But in some cases, if they sell it off to a third-party debt collector, then it's legal. What's not right, however, and sometimes illegal, is the way they come after you. Third-party debt collectors are vicious. They're ruthless and they're predatory. And so to pay them is absolutely criminal. You see, they have the burden of proof on them to prove that not only do they own the debt and have the legal wherewithal to be able to come after you for it, but they also have to prove that you owe the debt. And you see, let me just tell you how this works. When you charge off or you stop paying on a debt, what happens is two things. The clock starts ticking and the meter starts running. The meter starts running because they charge that amount off, and then all of a sudden they start hitting you with fines, fees, penalties, interest, costs, and all of the rest of that stuff, and they add it all on there. Those are never fees that you agreed to. Sure, you may have agreed to penalties in the event that you may have defaulted on the loan, but you didn't agree to the dollar amount that they're charging each one of those fees that they're adding on. They didn't run that by you. They never did. And so how can you possibly go to court and defend yourself against something you don't know anything about? Absolutely impossible. So what they do is they don't win because they have evidence and documentation, because the evidence and documentation they have is a bunch of nonsense. How do they win in court? They win on fear and intimidation. They hope that you ignore it. They hope that you think it goes away, or they hope that you pay. That's how debt collectors work.
Debt collector calls you, don't verify anything over the phone. Just tell them, I will not verify any information over the phone. Send me whatever you have on the address you have on file. If you call me again, you're in direct violation of FDCPA. And here's what most people don't know. Paying a collection won't remove it off your credit report, and it won't boost your score. So here's what you actually do to get it deleted. Just by sending this formal letter, they'll know what you're trying to do and they can't provide it to you. And most times they'll just remove it off your credit. I'm formally disputing this debt and requesting full validation under 15 U.S.C. 1692G. You must provide the original creditor's name, account number, full account statements and fees, and proof of your legal authority to collect. You must cease all collection until you provide this proof. I'm also invoking my right to cease all communication except to notify me that collection efforts are being terminated. All communications will be logged. Any further contact will be reported to FDCPA violation, to the CFPB and State Attorney General.
I got a question, and I'm laughing, but very serious. Are we still caring about credit scores? Are we still caring about credit scores? I'm trying to ascertain. What you need a credit score for anyway? To buy a house? Buy a car? I bought a house a couple years ago. I ain't finna buy down nothing. They gonna find my remains in this house. You see what I'm saying? And if this car give out, I'm gonna push my feet through the floorboard, Fred Flintstone this hoe. So I'm just trying to figure out these student loans, however, it's above me now. Hey, it's above me now. Cause I'm also tired of being the only one paying taxes around this hoe. Billionaires ain't paying nothing. They taxing the hell out my little check. Listen, I gotta get it back in blood somehow, some way. Somehow, some way. Somehow, some way, this got to even out. So if I got to pay taxes, these little debts, I'm liable to run up a tab and leave this bitch. You know what I'm saying?